If you've been shopping for a house for a while, then this might have happened to you. You found a house. You started picturing your life there. You might have started picking out your furniture, the colors. You pictured all your barbecues in the yard in the summer. And then by the time you put your offer in, poof, the house was gone. Zillow updated and now says accepting backups. That house went too fast. Because here's the truth nobody wants to say out loud: Connecticut is not too expensive. It's just that most buyers are chasing the exact same few towns at the exact same time. And when everybody crowds into the same aisle at the grocery store, the prices go up and the best stuff disappears. So today I'm giving you 3 Connecticut towns that I believe are set to explode in 2026. I'm doing this as somebody who has lived in Connecticut my whole life and helped people move here every single day. Town number 1, this one might shock some people, but we've been doing a lot of business here and there is so much value. It's Meriden. Meriden is one of the best trajectory towns in Connecticut right now. It's not everybody's dream town, and that's the point. Most buyers are emotional. They want the town name that gets approval from their cousin who's never paid their mortgage and has strong opinions about everything. You know that person? Smart buyers care where the demand is heading, not where it's been. Meriden's biggest advantage is location that actually works. You're positioned between major employment areas. You can get to Hartford, New Haven. There's a lot of central Connecticut without feeling trapped in one orbit. In 2026, flexibility matters. Hybrid work is still real for a lot of people. Families are juggling commutes, kids' schedules, aging parents, in a budget that doesn't magically stretch just because someone on the internet said it's a great time to buy. Meriden fits the buyer who wants access without paying for an already hot premium. Now let's talk about something buyers underestimate: downtown psychology. When a town invests in its core, housing, mixed use projects, walkability, amenities, it changes buyer confidence. People don't buy houses, they buy a future version of their life. They buy the idea that the town is improving. They buy the feeling that they won't regret it. Here is an unexpected insight that most people miss: Meriden does not have to become cool to become expensive. It just needs to become easier. Easier commute, easier errands, easier weekends. Convenience is the new luxury. If you can get what you need with less friction, less traffic pain, less everything is 25 minutes away, less chaos, buyers pay for that, even if they don't say it that way. They say things like, it just feels practical, and then they'll offer over asking. Now, here's an important reality check: Meriden is not uniform. There are pockets that feel completely different street to street. And this is where buyers mess up. They see a price that looks great, they get excited, and then they buy the wrong pocket because nobody helped them understand the local nuance. If Meriden is on your list, the question should not be, should I buy in Meriden? The question is, where in Meriden fits my lifestyle and my risk tolerance? This is where I'll give you a sneaky, value-based call to action because it actually matters. If you're relocating and you're not super familiar with the micro areas, the Dave Jones Realty team can help put together a simple short list based on your commute, your budget, and what you can't stand. Not a 40-page report, just a clear list. These areas make sense for you. These areas probably won't be on your list. And here's why. No pressure, just clarity. That way you're not relying on a random comment from someone whose only qualification was, I drove through Meriden once. In Meriden, another thing that creates opportunity is the housing stock. You've got a mix of older capes, colonials, ranches, where the bones can be solid, but the presentation is dated. And that scares off the HGTV crowd. They see a kitchen from 1997 and act like The whole house needs to be bulldozed. Meanwhile, the buyer who understands the paint, lighting, and a sensible renovation plan can change a house dramatically is the buyer who wins. Just remember the Connecticut basics. You have to know what you're buying. Oil, heat versus gas matters. Sewer versus septic matters. The age of the roof, the windows, the mechanics, they all matter. And if you're not sure, that's what inspections are for. The goal isn't to avoid every single issue. The goal is to avoid the surprises that make you want to move back in with your parents. Now I can already hear the comments. What about safety? You have to do your due diligence. Look at the official sources, talk to locals, visit at different times of the day, and understand Connecticut, like anywhere else, is a patchwork. Some pockets are great, some pockets are not your cup of tea, and street by street, it will change. That's not fear mongering, that's just being an adult. The second town we're going to talk about is West Haven. West Haven is one of the most overlooked towns in the orbital area of New Haven. West Haven offers great access plus lifestyle. And the reason it is overlooked is because people love old narratives. People have opinions about West Haven based on what they heard 10 years ago or from what they heard somebody say 20 years ago. Meanwhile, the market doesn't care about your uncle's opinion. The market cares about access, affordability, and whether people can picture themselves living there. And I can tell you what, from my buyer's experience, they could picture themselves living there. West Haven benefits from New Haven gravity without New Haven pricing. New Haven drives jobs, healthcare, culture, restaurants, events, pizza, and overall activity. When a hub city grows, the towns around it get pulled along for the ride. Buyers who want to be near the hub but can't or don't want to pay start shopping the perimeter. And that's where West Haven comes in. Then there's the lifestyle factor. Coastal proximity changes demand math more than anybody cares to admit. You don't need a postcard beach to shift buyer psychology. Just being near the water changes how people think about weekends, summer nights, quality of life. The stress begins to lift. And in 2026, buyers are not just buying houses, they are buying a lifestyle. People are leaving places where life feels expensive and stressful. They want a town where they can breathe a little bit. And here's another unexpected insight: West Haven's pop won't look like luxury, it'll look like competition for regular, normal houses. Capes, colonials, small single family homes, and some multifamilies, the kind of inventory that working buyers can actually afford. When more buyers show up for the same pool of homes, the days on market compress and the prices firm up before they shoot up. That's how a town explodes without becoming Beverly Hills. Now, West Haven is also a town where micro areas matter. There are pockets that feel more suburban, pockets that are more dense, and pockets where you have to be realistic about what you're buying. If you're the type of buyer who wants quiet streets and a suburban bubble, you need to pick carefully. If you're a buyer who wants proximity and doesn't mind a little more activity, you have some more options. And this is where I'll give you a stronger call to action. Because if West Haven is on your radar, you should not be winging it. If you're relocating, the smartest thing you can do is talk to somebody who can translate the town into real life. What does it feel like on a Tuesday night? What is the commute like at the times you will actually drive? What streets have the vibe that you want? My team helps people map that out every single day. It will tell you the truth, even if the truth is the town is fine, but it's not your fit. That's the whole point. The goal isn't to sell you on a town. The goal is to keep you from buying the wrong one. Again, quick due diligence disclaimer. Do your own research on safety and comfort. Check out the school reports. Visit multiple times. Use the resources you have. Talk to locals. Don't buy blind. And don't let the internet scare you or gaslight you. Both are popular hobbies. The third town we have for you today is Berlin. Berlin feels like it's quietly winning. It has amazing access, great stability. Berlin doesn't scream for attention, and that's why it is still a value play. Most buyers chase what's loud. Berlin is not loud. Berlin is confident. It's the person at the party who doesn't need to tell you how successful they are. You just notice them. They're relaxed. Berlin sits in the middle of a lot of life without being chaotic. You can get toward Hartford, you can get more around central Connecticut. You have major routes that make sense. And in 2026, buyers are heavily prioritizing how easy is my life going to be? The question drives decisions more than people admit. Berlin also benefits from controlled growth. When towns add development in a way that feels planned instead of chaotic, it attracts planners. And planners are the best kind of buyers. If you care about long term stability, they're not impulse buying because a kitchen has white cabinets. They're buying because the town makes sense for the next 10 years. Here's a line I say all the time: boring is profitable. People will call Berlin boring. Good. Boring means stability. Boring means fewer dramatic swings. Boring means your neighbor doesn't run a nightclub out of their garage. Boring means you're less likely to wake up one day and wonder why everything has changed. If you're buying a home to live in, boring is the win. Now, Berlin isn't a magic cheat code. The mistake buyers make in towns like Berlin is waiting because it feels too safe. Safe towns don't stay affordable forever. They move slower and then suddenly they don't. The window closes quietly. First it's, we can wait. Then it's, why are there three offers? Then it's, why are we getting outbid again? And then it's, we should have bought it last year. So here's how you use this video like a smart buyer instead of a doom scroller. Pick two towns, not six. Identify specific pockets, not vibes. Run commute and tax math honestly. Compare lifestyle trade offs, not just list prices. And be honest about your non negotiables. If you hate traffic, don't buy a commute that you're going to resent. If you need quiet, don't buy in a street that's busy and be shocked that it's busy. Quick note on schools: I'm not ranking schools on YouTube. It's personal, it changes, and it deserves real research. If schools matter to you, use tools like greatschool.org. We have them right on our website. Then verify directly with the district or do your own homework. Quick note on safety: also do your own due diligence. Use official resources, talk to locals, and understand the pockets vary. Any town can have great areas and areas that are not your fit. The goal is informed decisions, not paranoia. This is part one. In part two, I'm going to cover three more towns that are pure value corridor plays: Bristol, Naugatuck, Torrington. If you want help figuring out which of these towns actually fit your life, reach out. My team can build you a simple short list based on the commute, your budget, your lifestyle, and we can start to show you what to avoid so you don't learn an expensive lesson the hard way. And if you want part two, make sure you're subscribed because we're going deeper on the towns that still have value left in them before the crowd show up and start complaining that Connecticut is expensive again.